Welcome to Acting 101. This is a monthly podcast that usually publishes on the last Friday of every month, also featuring Ben Starr and Abubakar Salim. But we delayed this episode so that we could play some Ghost of Yotei before chatting to Erika Ishii, who is a regular, as well as guests Liam McIntyre and Rahul Kohli, who are all the faces of PlayStation characters. The show is completely supported by Patreon, which allows us to run it completely sponsorship-free and not have to worry about chasing trends or headlines or any annoying stuff like that. So huge thank you to our Patreon community for the support. And patrons also got just under 2 hours of this podcast, so almost an extra hour for Patreon supporters. But whether you support the show on Patreon or not, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Here it is.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Acting 101. We have some new faces today, kind of. Erika, welcome. Hello. You've been on this show before. This is Liam. This is your first time here.
It is, yeah.
And then we have Rahul, who is your second time here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
And these people all have something in common. Their faces are PlayStation characters. I didn't know how to phrase it.
And I've been co-stars to both of you.
Yeah.
You have,
Stray Gods.
right.
Stray Gods, and then also
Gods.
Gears. Gears 5.
Wait, we're all in Gears
We're
5.
all in Gears 5.
Oh my God, what?
Everyone's in Gear 5.
You're
yeah.
in Gears 5?
Yeah.
Point
Well,
being, we
there
have the
was-
Ghost of Yotei, Atsu.
That's very cool.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Liam plays Wolverine and Logan, which is
It's
insane.
insane.
And
Crazy.
Rahul plays John
Sergeant.
Saros.
That's his name.
From
Arjun
Saros.
Devraj.
Arjun Devraj
I
from
think.
Saros.
Yeah, from Saros.
Yeah, it was very cool. You've been talking about this to see the state of play where you opened it and you closed it.
I was like,
we're Gears
across
family.
the
It's
across
so
the
weird.
streams, all over in Sony.
Yeah, I know.
That was wild.
Because
That
you
was-
said bar, we were talking earlier, you said bar like that one gig, Gears was really your first proper game.
yeah, there was a show that I was in that got cancelled, and then the same team were like, "Hey, just cause you want to be the son of Marcus Phoenix," and I was like, "Hey, yes, that I definitely, absolutely do." And that was wild. And then a couple of things after that, but it's your first as
That was
well.
my first, Gears 5 was my
Oh,
first
wait.
video.
Oh, so both
Right.
of your video game acting careers started with. Oh my god!
For
I
me,
think.
yeah.
I think
It's
I
also my first.
Oh,
game.
really?
What?
Yeah.
No
Is it really
way.
your
Yes.
first game?
It was before Cyberpunk.
It wasn't your first game, Erica. That would be weird.
No, because I started on like a lot of indies, but it was like one of my earliest
AAA.
AAA.
Yeah, I
That's
do
so
think
weird.
I technically did Star Trek Online, like a couple of voices. I think technically before that. I think,
Wow.
but yeah,
But-
that was
but
certainly in the big leagues.
It,
No, that's rude. Star Trek's great.
No, but it's just like
Yeah,
well,
it
it's
was-
not
it was a different-
AAA. It's not AAA.
Yeah.
It was a different
Right?
kind of thing.
AAA
Yeah, it was
is
different.
Oh my
Yeah.
God,
That's so
that's
cool.
so funny, you guys.
Yeah.
But again, like we don't get to ever talk with each other or record with each other.
As much
or,
as I beg,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, please. But well, it's hard. But
Yeah, the state of play, the full circle moment, like the romanticizing of it wasn't lost on me. Like
yeah.
I was like, I started on Gears with Liam. That was my first role, almost your first role.
Well, yeah.
And we open and close a state of play with
Yeah.
our faces.
Ourselves
And
in
we
our
didn't know.
shows.
We
It's
didn't
just
know, right? Like I
mental.
did not
Yeah.
know ahead of time that you
Absolutely.
were playing.
Yeah,
kept
I
that
didn't know. It
secret.
was a surprise
on-
to me.
Yeah, that was a high stakes secret.
Yeah. Yeah, I had no idea.
So
And so,
many years.
like, when we were watching it, it was like, oh my God, it's
I was
Liam.
so happy.
Look
Yeah.
at his
Because
face.
when you
Yeah.
sit into
This
the
guy
shot,
looks just
right?
like Liam.
Yeah, wait a minute.
You sit into it when they reveal, right? That's what you do.
Yeah.
You physically walk into frame and sit
Yeah,
down.
it's,
and
it,
you're
I,
like,
I
I'm
think
Liam
if I remember
McIntyre.
correctly, that was hilarious. We did a whole they were like the original like teaser trailer of
Yeah, the bar.
Yeah, the bar.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like we're gonna do that. I was like, wait, what are we doing? I was like, I'd been fully like the day before. I was like fully bearded, so I was like, well, that would have been great because the next day I had PCAP, so I had to shave, and so the day after that. We did this thing,
That's
and
funny.
I was like, "Oh, we're like a day away from actually not looking like clean shaved."
That's
Logan
so
is a hard
funny.
sell for me, but it was.
Oh,
it
you
was,
were going to recreate that
well,
first.
that was
on
that was the
Logan's
kind
back.
of the
Yeah,
orcs they did the
made the-
glass
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing,
Oh,
and
of
then
course,
they
yeah.
changed it to a
Yeah.
look up sort of thing. But so I was like, for 7 beautiful seconds, I'm live action.
Yeah, that's so
but it
cool.
was a wild that whole. I know it was for you. I mean, you obviously got announced earlier than that.
Yeah, we were announced at the other
But,
state of play.
yeah.
Just that teaser reveal, but
That week
it
was
also
crazy.
I loved the comments on the state of play because it basically feels like now Wolverine can only be played by
Australian.
Australian.
It's our
That is
chief
amazing.
export. It's our number one
Yeah.
export.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
Wolverine.
two other
Wolverine.
Australian
So the
Wolverines
next
out
live
there
action's
too.
going to be
Are they?
like
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So in the movies, young Logan's played by an Aussie kid.
oh, because it was shot. No, it
Yeah,
was shot in
yeah. Well, that's Origins, I think. It was. I think.
Oh,
Origins,
yeah, because I know one was shot in
And
Canada.
then briefly, there was another VO actor, McNeil. Oh, Scott. I got to find out. Who's also another Aussie or was
way.
born in Australia.
I do feel like Wolverine is Australian coded.
A little bit, yeah. I mean,
Right,
you know,
you
briefly
know,
they tried to make him Australian, like in
do
the 90s, I think.
feel like
He had an Outback crew.
Americans, we kind of think of him as like, he's an American superhero, but he's Canadian.
He's Canadian.
I know.
Yeah, he's Canadian.
I did briefly toy with making him a full Canadian accent, and we were like, we took it down and way down the road, and we were like,
Did you
maybe-
say a
so much-
boot in that?
I
Did you try
it just didn't. It didn't. Cal Dodd nails it. Like he can make him Canadian properly, and
Yeah.
I was just like, it doesn't come out right.
Just a lot of A in there.
Yeah,
So
sorry about that, eh? Sorry for slitting your face off,
So-
eh, bub?
For now, when they do go back to live casting Wolverine for whatever, he'll be back in his
Sure.
new iteration. It feel like any Aussie actor, their numbers are going to go through.
Yeah, they're
Jacob
feeling
Elordi,
good. They're
Elordi,
feeling
Yeah.
They're feeling good.
Yeah, their
it's
numbers
true.
are going up.
Before we started recording, I was talking to Erika about like all the Japanese accents in Ghost of Yotei and how much
Oh.
I fucking love. I was talking to you about this. How like there's certain things that are like so soothing to my ears, and I love the katana. Like there's
Oh, the
words
way
that
you
you
make
say
it-
that I'm
yeah,
like, oh,
katana,
that's
yeah.
so nice. Being
It's actually katana.
I was like, I'm learning something. Wait a minute. Is my whole life wrong? Is my whole
Fucking-
life wrong?
yeah,
Is every
katana,
Ninja Turtle
mate, that's
yeah, a
sick.
couple of katanas in there, mate.
We're
Just
from New York.
yeah.
that sounds so
As
much better.
a like Japanese American, is there pressure for you to like not fuck that up?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, are
yeah,
you nervous doing that, right?
Absolutely. But thank you to I had a dialect coach.
Oh, wow.
A dialect coach.
That doesn't happen often.
Right,
Oh.
especially
You'd think it
for
would.
they just kind of assume that you know Japanese and they used to
Yeah.
have an accent. But Yumi Mizui, who she's done dialect and voiceover for Shogun. We worked together on Call of Duty.
Good for her.
Yeah, but she's just like also the most interesting woman in the world. Like her resume is insane. And when a friend of ours met Hiroyuki Sanada and said he knew Yumi, he's like, oh, everyone knows Yumi. So, but yeah, there's like a huge pressure because, you know, like I'm not fluent,
Yeah.
but, you know, I've been learning for so long, but I don't know. It's also a thing of like, you're never really going to be considered like fully bilingual enough.
Sure.
And, you know, when you go over there, they're a little confused about me.
Is it like being like? Did you get
Oh my
recognized for it and stuff
gosh.
over there? Because you were just
so
there for context.
The
you just said
thing
for
about Japanese culture is that like even if it's the people are very excited, it's a big deal, they will not bother you because it is considered rude. So like Beyonce can ride the Shinkansen and not get bothered. People will like look and stuff, but people like celebrities, huge worldwide known celebrities can go there and nobody will bother them.
I love
So
Japan.
right in Japan,
So
because
cool.
it's just that's the
That's the
culture.
culture,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like
So
I
cool.
don't know if anybody recognized me or not. I mean like even like standing by the
You're on
booth.
like buses and shit.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
And it's funny as well because
It's
it's
your face. It's so
like when you're in
nice.
the photo mode,
so
it's
cool.
just, you know, it's Erika on this screen. Like, it's crazy because I've been on photo
He's
mode.
got so many good photos.
I've done 17, 18. I've only just got back from filming and I've managed to get about 20 hours under my belt in 2 days, right?
Bravo, sir.
And when you walked in, no offense, I was like, oh, I forgot how small Erika is. Do you know why? Because your face
Filling up a
has
hole.
been on this fucking huge plasma, OLED, for 2 days. And I've been like zooming in on your eye with a little bit of dirt. And then when you walked in, I was like, oh,
That's-
so petite. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
you're massive on that. on
It's
that
but,
screen,
well,
yeah.
also Atsu's I think character model is something like
You're a bit taller.
6.5. Like she's like over 6 feet or
Really?
something. Yeah. Atsu is significantly taller
See,
than
that
me.
bothered me on Saros.
So how? Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm not my height.
Yeah,
I know that from
That's
the video.
such a funny thing to know.
They
I'm-
made you taller.
I saw stuff,
Shorter.
and I'm eye level with a lot of characters because, of course, I am, and that's just not me. I'm 6'4", and seeing me be
That's so
eye level
funny.
with things and stuff like that, I was like,
hey,
That's so
Okay,
weird.
wait. So here's the thing: is Wolverine's a small dude.
he
Yeah.
is.
Did they?
oh, you must be shrunk.
Yeah.
What are you,
I
Liam,
think
6'2"?
I'm
You're
6,
huge.
1.5. Yeah,
Okay.
something in there. So I'm not that big.
You're
I
the same
don't-
height as Hugh Jackman, though.
I am. So there was this difficult thing where people were like, are we gonna get like canon Wolverine, or are we gonna get like Hugh
Yeah.
Wolverine?
Yeah.
I don't know the official height,
Sure.
but it's
Yeah.
smaller. So we're doing what we can. We're
That-
doing what we can.
Yay!
The
Small
I-
angry man, Wolverine.
Yeah.
The idea of I've never thought about that, of like seeing, obviously it's your own face. That's got to be fucking weird from the jump. But like
Jump scare
your
every time.
height being different, and I guess in some cases animations being different, like when it's not your walk, it's a stunt actor, or when certain stunts are performed by somebody else. That must be, is it like a weird like dysmorphia?
The height thing I spotted, but you don't. I didn't
so
say it
weird.
because it sounds so toxic to be like.
I'm taller. I'm actually 6'4",
well, I'm actually
by the way.
6'4". Why?
I'm more scared about what people will do in post with my face just available online
Oh,
forever.
that's true.
Well, okay, so my face has been available in
It's-
Cyberpunk for a
no.
long
Oh
time.
yeah, of course
Yeah.
it has.
Not a problem.
Oh great,
Like
that's
yeah,
very
but they're
reassuring.
really, really good about
That's
like
nice.
knocking. Yeah, because Keanu Reeves is in that game, I think the
Oh.
protections for Cyberpunk are like pretty intense. But it's like
Whoa.
never been.
Oh, I just
think.
assumed some dude would be like, let's do
Erica,
some
I
stuff.
mean, maybe that I
Considered
haven't
that.
seen, but
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I consider, but like I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
think that it was, and plus, like it hasn't hit PC.
How did you feel when you first took a bath?
Oh, that was another thing. Sucker Punch was so sweet about that because like I was a huge fan of the first game, and in
Yeah.
the game I'm like, that's a pretty good ass.
Yeah.
And so like my third session that I came in, I was like, hey, so we're gonna do the same thing for me, right? Like, cause that's just fair. And they were like, we'll talk to the character artists, I guess. And I was like, I want it big. And they're like, okay. But they were just like, and so one of the early things we mocapped was me like climbing into the onsen and like sitting in there and kind of like rolling around. And they were like, are you okay? Are you feeling okay? Like we just, we want to. And when they showed me, they're like, we want to show this to you. They're like, are you okay?
Can we show your
We're
own
showing
butt?
this. Yeah. Are you good? Are you good with this?
Yeah.
Is this okay? I was like, yes.
You had butt approval?
If
That's so
yes.
funny.
And I was like, if you want to make it bigger, too, you can.
I would love to see the Erica version where you just had like a Nicki Minaj
Huge BBL.
Rested,
That's
yeah.
so funny.
Yeah,
Sinking into the hot
Rested
like
in tea on the back of
Mamushi
it.
is shot when she shot. Like, I saw the Mamushi music video that she did with that Megan Thee Stallion did, and I was just like, I want it to be that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess dysmorphia is not the right word, but like, do you feel like a weird, like, whoa, that's not me? Like when you notice things that aren't you?
The only thing I thought was weird was I did my work and, I don't know how it's been for you guys, but like it's not a constant. And especially because of the strikes, there's been gaps.
Sure.
Yeah.
Distance. That and I'm not used obviously I do a lot of just TV and film, so I'm on for 6 months, it's all I do, and then I never think about it ever again until it comes out. Whereas this is like, oh hey, do you remember that game? And you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a different level of anyway. So I had done my my first initial batch, and then I feel like I hadn't really thought about Saros or had any conversations with them for about 8-9 months, and then they invited me to Helsinki. So I went to Finland again for that party, and while I was there, they were like, "Check out the new office," because we'd gone initially the first time. So I went back. This was more recently. I think it was probably early in the year, and so I got there and I didn't realize like how much had been done. And I walked in and obviously met everyone at the office and said
Isn't
hi.
there like a fucking poster of you in the
Well, that's what I was
lobby?
going to say. No. There isn't a poster. No. That's not happened yet. What it was 6 rows of animators and I'm on each screen. That was weird, right? So you're
Yeah.
walking in and you're like, that's the back of my head. That's my face. That's the-
Yeah.
But the other thing that I didn't know how I felt about this was, if you glitch or like there's a funny face
Yeah.
that you're thinking, they print them out and
Oh,
stick them on because
yeah.
they're funny little.
Yeah.
So I'd walk around the office and like there's like a picture of me like that. Or,
Yeah.
you know,
Crazy.
I've seen
and,
some of that.
and it's your likeness.
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah.
this is weird.
I've got some funny ones that I probably
Yeah.
shouldn't talk about yet, but I can tell you later.
Well,
It just happens, right? They always like something will happen with the thing or the animator, and the
Yeah, it's
eyeballs
hilarious.
might be
Yeah.
bulbous, too bulbous,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they print that out.
Yeah, you,
That's
And-
funny.
and
well, yeah,
that
you
struck
run
me
out
as
of your
weird.
hair or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
What did you both feel like when you saw yourselves in the suits? Like in the outfits, when they first showed you in the
I feel
costumes.
like that's like especially cool
Yeah.
for Wolverine, right?
Yeah, it's a very. I didn't realize. I've been in games, I've been in cool shows. I'm very lucky. And so I thought I knew what to expect. I've never been more nervous about anything in my life.
Yeah.
Because with Spartacus, I was replacing the late great Andy Whitfield.
Yeah.
That was
That's
horrific.
so hard.
Yeah.
But I'd just been working in a cinema, and I got a call at the cinema by Rob Tappert being like, "Hey, we'd like to see if we can get you in this show." Long story. But anyway, so I was just like, "All right, sure. I'll just try and do a good job. I'm a good kid." And so I just worked hard and tried to do the right thing. Years later, I'm like, God, glad I didn't know what I was getting myself into. That would have been insane to have known what this actually was.
Yeah.
This time I knew exactly what this was. So I was like, oh my God. And, we'd been doing it a long time. So.
Stepping into Marcus Phoenix's son's boots.
Oh man,
For
yeah.
Gears 4. That's big.
That
That's
was
Gears taking a
already
departure away
But
from
at
absolutely
least he didn't
insane.
exist, right? Like that's not you're not.
Well, we were
He's not
defining
fucking
it.
Wolverine. Yeah.
Yeah, like obviously with Spartacus, it's kind of my gig now is taking over impossible jobs. But yeah, so with Spartacus, we had one and he was amazing. So I was like, okay, don't mess that up.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of Wolverines and they're amazing. So there was that of like, it's the world's biggest trust fall for me, where it was like, okay, guys, I'm gonna do my best work. I'm gonna go as hard as I can. You guys keep the guardrails on. Let me know how it feels. If you need to change it, just I'm gonna go and trust that you guys are seeing the vision and they are so
Team effort, right?
More than anything in the world, I don't know
Yeah.
in the world, but like certainly anything in my line of work, I don't know how anything gets made. Like there are film's hard. Like film, someone's focus pulling wrong, the whole shot's ruined. In this, like I had a chat with one of the art, the head of art, the head of the pretty much the game, who was saying like the hardest thing. We're talking about ADR and like how we don't want to have to do ADR. Like, oh, come on, mate, like doing film, TV, just chucking a bit of ADR. Just like, let's get the emotions. And he's like, yeah, the problem with what we've got is that we can change everything. So we define the vision of everything. So whereas in, you see a coffee cup in the back of Game of Thrones, you're like, oh, well, rest of it was great, and your life goes on. But in this, like everyone above them is like, why did that go up when it shouldn't have? He's like, we change it. And you're like, I've got 5,000 other shots to finish. And they're like, yeah, but you can change it, so change it. Whereas in other mediums, you're like, we'll do the best you can.
Yeah.
We'll cut around it.
Yeah.
This one's just like,
That's why video games you can iterate on forever and never release them, right?
Well,
Like
that
it's-
happens
yeah,
too. It's
yeah.
I in working on a few now, I think the greatest skill of anyone, especially that creative director and stuff, is like just that awful, tough, hard feeling of having to go, that's too much, that's enough, stop. Or like Gears of War, it'll be like we're cutting out a gun. You're like, oh, that was so cool. They're like,
Yeah.
we just don't have enough time to balance it to
Kill
make
your
it look good.
darlings.
Yeah, and like you have to do that more than anything because you'll be like 6 months down the road. You've designed all the art. You've built a basic system for it.
Yeah.
All this stuff that you just sort of like release in 8 months. That one's gonna go. I mean, we're lucky. We've got an incredible writer, and every time he brings anything, or the whole team brings anything to us, I'm always like, whoa, that's
Yeah,
even
for anyone who
better.
doesn't know, because it's public. Walt Williams is the lead writer on
yeah.
Wolverine, who is
There he was.
most well known for Spec Ops: The Line, which is considered like
Yeah.
Oh
one
my
of the good video
God.
games. I love him so
Yeah.
much. He's wonderful and just a great human. And
It's
I
just-
could not have more faith in a video game writer almost than him. Like
I have never been anything but truly amazed. Like Insomniac's really collaborative. They're a terrific team to work for.
Such a
and,
good
and
studio.
so that means they get a bunch of long emails from me, being like, "What do we think of this, guys?" And like, and they always respond, which just encourages more of it.
Yeah.
Frankly. It's just
They're
sort of
enabling you.
jokes on them.
And like for those of you listening and watching this, that is so rare for
Right?
video games.
Or anything.
Because normally you're kind of there and you do what they tell you to do, and especially for video games, sometimes you get the sides that day or while you're
Sure.
in the booth and you read it down like on this Excel
Yeah.
sheet and you do the work and then you leave and then a year later they're like the game's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to just be able to have answers or for them to entertain that sort of
Like
thing,
I'll come up with some
Yes.
crazy thing
so
and
nice.
and then he'll be like, and then like, here's what we actually are doing, and you're like, whoa,
Oh.
God, that's so much better than anything my tiny brain
we're
could
kind
ever
of talking
think
about
of.
this. I feel like PlayStation's uniquely like really paying attention to that. That's just a perspective thing. It's like they're really caring about their
Very
actors and including them
actor-friendly.
more. And the
Yeah.
industry's kind of doing that in general. But like Rahul was saying, some of the PlayStation tweets about Saros include your name in them,
Yeah, it's
which is like
wild.
totally a new thing.
It's
Like,
different,
yeah.
right?
They
I've
usually would
seen.
just go character name and
Yeah.
and no, I have to give Housemark a shout because
Yeah, man.
I've had that experience where it's like, and I'm okay with it. I don't
I love
mind
that
being
you're
a-
like, I love my studio, and I could do the same thing
Same
about
with Sucker
SMS. To
Punch.
be honest,
Like,
I love them. Yeah.
cannot
Sure.
I
speak
like
highly of
being a
Yeah.
hired hand.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
Yeah,
a bit
same.
miserable and I like being a hired hand, and I'm all right with just like coming in, doing it, get out of my face. I'm going home. And that's it. And I am like that. But Housemark, like, I don't know if obviously I don't know how much you could say, but maybe Erika can. But like, Housemark been having me play test it.
Oh yeah, you can say that. They
Yeah.
won't get mad
Uh,
at that.
you've
I
been doing
promise
that
you,
on the-
Sony
Yeah.
PR will be watching this video. We're not going to break any NDAs.
Yeah.
I promise.
Hooray.
I know you're there. We're not
It's-
doing anything.
I love them too.
They've been like actively getting me on builds,
Yeah, man.
and taking feedback, and then meeting with people, and they've had questions about how does this feel, how does this go, how does that go, and
Did,
it's
did you ask for that, or did they offer it to you?
you know what it was. I think
because
they
also
knew.
we're gamers. We play
Yeah.
games.
Well,
and
I-
I feel like
that's
some
what-
actors don't.
I would make the case actually that
do
in
that.
these instances,
Yeah.
you are game developers. You are. Like,
Yeah.
especially if you're a protagonist and the studio's including you in this way, which I think that's very smart to do. Because, like, I can say definitely as a writer that, like, you need the actor to inform the writing choices that come after everything they've recorded. Do you know what I mean? Like, this, it's so
Yeah.
fucking helpful to have that expert that you're not an expert.
I'm also guessing because of like Housemark and like their design is so integrated into the performances and the narrative and everything that like that really had to have helped with your performance.
You know what it was? I don't think they would have been that hands-on and allowed me to tinker with it and get in there. What happened was, this hasn't been said publicly, but I think this is okay to say. How I got cast was kind of interesting. So I got cast because, as I understand it, someone at Housemark was a fan of Midnight Mass, the show I did with Flanagan.
Understandable.
And they were using me for concept art or something. But it was a picture that was referencing Mass. And at a certain point, Housemark and the higher ups and stuff were like, well, why don't we ask him? Maybe he'd do it.
Cool.
So I got an email from my team that was like, are you willing to meet with Housemark over a Zoom to discuss a project? I told you, friend EA. And I'm a fan of Housemark, like Rezo Gun and Dead Nation and stuff like that, and Returnal.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm doing it.
like, fuck yeah, you
Yeah,
do
we're
that.
doing this, right? We're gonna
Yeah.
say yeah. So I jump on the meeting on the weekend, and they're all kind of like nervous and doing the thing, and hi, and PlayStation were like moderating this meeting with Greg and Harry at the time, and they have their little slideshow ready to tell me what this game is and all the stuff and pitch it to me. And as they're about to hit play, I stopped them and I said, Housemark are a fucking incredible studio. I'm a big fan of your games. I want you to know that my answer is yes before you pitch, based off reputation and what
Good
you
for
guys
you,
and
man.
what you guys do.
For you,
And I
man.
was like, so it's already a yes.
Tell me what we're making.
Now tell me what we're doing.
Oh, that's cool, man. Like I said in the little Sting trailer thing that they've let me play some, and it was incredibly helpful to know what kind of they want to be like, well, this is coming up. Here's how this sort of feels. This is what you're leading into. This is what's coming. Because again, you're getting a call weeks out, and you're like, wait, where is this happening?
where are we?
Yeah,
What-
it's that.
What did I
yeah.
do last? What was the last thing we just? Oh,
Such
is
a
that
long
what we
span of
did?
time.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
might be a couple of weeks or a
Yeah.
month or something before you, or more sometimes, where you just like, and then
I
obviously
mean, we
jumping
literally
around the
had,
spot.
I'm sure you both had this because of the way the strikes went. We literally went down for a year.
Sure, yeah.
And then you're coming back. That's like doing a sequel. It's
Yeah,
like picking
sure.
up another whole nother project and going, oh, this guy, we're there. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the thing. And it's,
Even like a couple of months, because like it was typical for where they would be like feverishly writing, and then a couple months later I'd get to record the next bit. And also because so many things can happen at any time, but then there's also a rough sort of map of the golden path and where
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Like every time I got the script like a week in advance.
That's great.
Which was insane.
great.
And second of all, they'd give me a meeting with the writers if I
Oh,
wanted it.
amazing.
Too. And they'd be like, okay, this is it so far. And these are things we've tweaked. And like when I first signed on to the project, or, you know, when I first was cast, they gave me a whole sort of at least overarching summary of what it was going to be, and so that I could start in on it,
Yeah.
like having an idea of where we needed to get to and where it started from. And
Because you're often recording out of order and shit too.
yeah, it was
So-
out of
For-
order,
for
and so
you,
was
was it-
really great about it.
Was it that you like? I get again. I can only really compare it to what we did, but like,
Yeah.
did you front load your works firstly with all of the PCAP mocap, and then spend the rest of the project in the booth?
It was
Or
a
have you been going
mix.
back and
Yeah, it was
forth?
back and forth.
Oh,
A lot of back and
interesting.
forth. Because there's also, I think they've talked about there's like A class, B class, C class scenes. So like A class are like full PCAP, you know, on the stage, where there were sometimes, I think for one of the biggest scenes that we shot was like 8 people or something, which is
Yeah.
very unusual
Yeah.
for sound
Yeah.
for PCAP. And then
Was this over here? By
yeah,
the
yeah,
in the
yeah,
Dome?
for Sony.
Yeah.
And then B class are, you know, they do facial capture, and you know there were like 2 or sometimes 3 of us in the booth, just like reading, or like it would be memorized, but you know, doing short scenes where they're getting the facial capture.
Were you doing that with other people?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then even C class are the ones where it's sort of like the ride and talks, or
Yeah.
the, you know, the ones where they don't do facial capture. But we'd even get to work with multiple people in the room for those sometimes.
awesome.
Which is, yeah, that's so unheard of
Yeah.
for video game voiceover. So it was just, it added so much. And that was the reason why so
why
many
it's so
of us
good.
are,
It's-
it's so, and
Erica,
you can tell we're talking
while
to
we're
each
talking
other.
about Yotei, like I said, I got to put in 20 hours since I got back.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing it and you asked me about it, and I was like, this game fucking rules. And I was like, you play it 100%. Like, I love
Because my
Tsushima, but I think I prefer Yotei.
My backlog was awful. And,
Same.
and,
Tell me
and
about
I knew
it.
Battlefield 6 was coming out too, and I was like, do I want to start?
I know, and Hades 2
man.
also
you got
dropped, and
Hades
Silk
2.
Song, like within the
It's not fair.
weeks
stressful.
of each
Yeah,
other.
it's
Why?
stressful.
It's a
I
rough,
know.
it's a rough, and I got FIFA.
Oh, EAFC,
EAFC.
son.
So it's just a mess of a month.
Try to
And-
throw a
and-
couple of kids in the mag. It's ruined. It's ruined. I love it.
I
but jeez,
can't
it really,
even
it really affects my
imagine.
gaming.
I
Get him out.
and I'll be honest with you, I was
Donkey Kong. I can't do it.
okay. I think I liked Tsushima. I didn't love Tsushima. I can say
Sure.
that's okay.
Yeah.
I played it during the pandemic. If that feels right. I was in
Yes.
quarantine.
It's 2020.
I was in
it
quarantine.
was height of
2020 midnight
quarantine.
mass. I was in quarantine 2 weeks in that apartment. I did Tsushima that
Yeah.
whole time.
Wow.
And I was talking to Andrew while I was doing it.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
Hi, Andrew. Probably
Hi,
watching.
Andrew.
Huge fan.
I liked it. And then I played Yotei over this last 2 days I've been home. And this is my favorite.
Yeah, it rules.
This is right now becoming one of my favorite PlayStation 5 games.
Wow.
I fucking love
It's,
Ghost
yeah,
of
I
Yotei.
really like
I
it.
really
Oh,
do.
can't
You,
wait.
you crush. And also, I
Yeah.
want you to know something. I want you to know something. I never, ever keep an English dub, especially if it takes place in like feudal Japan, or if it, my Yakuza, I play through all of the Yakuzas. Not a single time have I listened to English dub, but I am doing Ghost of Yotei English dub because I can't not
Yeah.
listen to Erika.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love
It's
it.
very
It's
good.
it literally like I was talking about it today to everyone.
It's so
It's
beautiful.
so fucking beautiful. It's so good.
Beautiful game.
Combat
There's
feels
so much
incredible.
to do.
Yeah.
It's
And I
just
love
so
that it's more.
dense.
The thing with
but
Tsushima
not
was
in a
I-
busy way. Like,
Yeah.
it all feels like it means
Yeah, it fits in the world,
something.
right?
I
Yeah.
Yeah.
really love how they wrote little side missions that all just really inform
It's a
everything.
good way to
Yeah.
do an open world. Like,
Yeah.
it's the best.
I totally think they've almost perfected that genre
Yeah.
of open world.
yeah.
It's one of my
Tsushima
favorite
felt
open
was
worlds.
grand, and you know they were tied to some historical accuracies and things
Yeah.
like that. And I didn't connect so much. This is a very personal Kill Bill.
I know, it's such different stories. It's the thing I
And
was
I
talking
kinda
about is
love
like
that.
they
It's
have
more
similarities,
relatable.
obviously.
Story.
It's fully I didn't know that about it from the trailers. Like, it's very Kill Bill. It's very like it almost feels like the word feels weird in this context, but feels Western. It feels
It's
cowboy.
100%.
You feel like
It
an
is-
outlaw.
it
Spaghetti
is
like,
Western-y.
Western. I don't
Yeah.
know if you like in the very first scene when she's like hey, they're sorry about this horse, aren't you? Is definitely like a nod
Oh,
to,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know, man with no
Well,
name.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
Well,
so
it
it's like
feeds each other as well in pop culture because
Totally.
Sergio Leone's first spaghetti western is Yojimbo
Yeah.
remade, and
Sure.
Kurosawa wrote to him and he's
Kurosawa,
like,
yeah.
it is a fine film. Unfortunately, it is my film.
yeah, and sued him.
He got percentage of the
Yeah.
box
Oh,
office
yeah.
because
Crazy.
yeah.
Akira Kurosawa made more money from Fistful
Fistful
of
of
Dollars
Dollars
than he
than
did
he did
from
from
Yojimbo.
Yojimbo.
I didn't know that.
Because you're a
That's
massive
wild.
fan, right?
Massive
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood fan.
And then but then
You got
Yeah,
the works.
Yeah,
didn't
you got-
man?
you got
That's
the-
real.
But both the samurai genre in film and the
yeah,
Western
and then
genre have fed each other.
Kurosawa was definitely inspired. Like for Yojimbo, it's so obvious that he's inspired by westerns
Totally.
as well, and like you know,
Yeah.
just the whole thing of like villagers like going inside and shutting their doors, and there's like
Yeah.
a lone. But yeah, I mean,
'Cause
actually,
it's the Ronin and it's
the Ronin and the
it's
cowboy,
the
man.
Cowboy,
Yeah,
it's the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
it's the
same
idea of
thing.
like not belonging to this like class of warrior and like actually
I feel like it's so
Ronin wrote a-
cool the way that the games are similar, but that because the tone's so different, they feel really distinct. Like it's such a different
and the
vibe.
music with the like the guitar and the shamisen.
I've been playing in the lo-fi mode a ton
and
too.
the, oh,
I haven't done Lo-Fi
rules.
yet
It
because
rules.
the soundtrack's so good.
It's a really good game.
But Watanabe mode too is like I'm a huge Samurai Champloo fan. I've like since the days where you could only get it like fan subtitled and
Yeah.
stuff. Like I have the burned disc and like oh my god. And so I can't believe
Yeah,
that they
you're
got
part of that.
Yeah, yeah.
game,
Watanabe has seen
You're
my
adjacent.
game. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And your face.
That's
my face!
wild.
That is cool.
A little weird trivia has
it's
popped
wild.
into my head about samurai and westerns, and that is more than often than not, the West will steal Asian cinema. So Reservoir Dogs is actually City on was it City on Fire or something like that, and Fistful of Dollars was Yojimbo.
Yeah.
If, Departed was Infernal Affairs.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it has gone the other way once. And Ken Watanabe remade Unforgiven.
Yes.
And that's one of the only times that...
Wait, is it called Unforgiven?
Yes.
Is it called Unforgiven?
I think I
Huh.
believe it's called Unforgiven.
I've heard it's
Oh, I'd
brilliant,
love
but-
to see a
but-
Japanese
but yeah.
Unforgiven.
So
I haven't gotten to see it yet.
That
they
sounds cool.
remade
Oh, that sounds cool.
Unforgiven. So it went back the other way, which
Oh, that's
doesn't
sick.
happen often.
Yeah,
but then it
sure.
goes-
Well, but also anime is, inspired. Like Osamu Tezuka was like, "Oh, that Snow White looks really cool. I should do something like that." And that's
Oh,
why we
right,
have
yeah.
anime.
Sure.
Yeah. and then The
So-
Matrix is really just anime. Like it.
Yeah,
it's very
and
sick.
Yeah.
oh
It's
man,
cool.
also
The
like
shots is so fucking anime.
So true.
also like seeing this sort of like especially early 2000s auteurs like it's like oh you watched a lot of
Shapes.
Satoshi
Yeah,
Kon
yeah,
and like a lot
yeah.
of like Paprika and Perfect
Yeah.
Blue.
Very
Oh,
cool.
I just
yeah.
bought the full... It's on pre-order
Yes.
now, everyone. Perfect Blue, which I've never seen. I've
Wait,
haven't
I
seen
will
it.
absolutely watch. That is my it's like my comfort film in the way that I think some people have like Parasite is their comfort film or something.
Huh.
You know,
You want to do
yeah.
a movie night?
It's yes,
Shall
please.
Shall we
Yeah.
call
I
you
love
for Perfect Blue? It,
Yeah,
comes,
I haven't seen
it
it.
comes at the end of the
You
year.
want to come?
Sure, sounds great.
All right.
Perfect Blue.
I've never seen it.
So
Yeah,
much.
same.
Yeah, it's and you could definitely have you seen? Well, I don't want to spoil anything,
I don't know anything about
but
it.
there is an American film that is like very very inspired by it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Circle back on Rahul's story because I have no idea. This is like 15 minutes ago. How were both of you cast? What was your process
Oh,
in each
yeah.
of your games?
Yeah. I want to know because yours was a while back. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I assume I can talk about it. It's.
I would say you just can't talk about what's in the game.
That sounds
you
fair
can
to
talk
me.
about acting.
I can talk about the acting. It sounds good. See, it's official now.
Don't get mad.
Yeah, no, it's don't get mad. Yeah, it was wild. I was in Australia, flying back to America. I think for green card reasons because it was like the pandemic.
Fun
sort of-
times,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
Fun
yeah,
times.
yeah.
We've all been
And citizen now, so taxes I pay for anything.
Forever.
Forever.
Oof.
It's my favorite time. But yeah, and it was like I got a call from my agent the day before I was flying, going, so wait, you're coming to America, right? Would you be able to do an audition the day you get off the plane? When are you getting in? And this because there's an audition at 10 a.m. And I was like, I
In
think I get in
person?
at 6. Yeah, it was the first one I'd done
No way.
since then, and probably almost the only one I've done since.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then it turns out there was a delay, and so I couldn't make the audition. And I got the sides for a dude.
Did you know what it was?
It was all Sudaffuge, obviously. Everything was code names and characters were changed and names were changed. But then a dude has knives come out of his hands, and you're like, I mean, and we were kind of like, I remember talking to my agent being like, are we reasonably confident that this is Wolverine?
Sometimes Rahul gets sides, and I'm like,
I was going to say,
Star Wars.
Yeah. Star
Wars are so easy because they try to use the same
They call them
keywords
Templars.
and-
And you're like,
Yes.
And then they
Sorry
use
if
the
you're watching
force.
this.
It's always
We've
like,
understood the code.
when they do force, it's like either energies or
Yeah,
stuff.
we
Yeah,
know.
he
Yeah,
pushes it with his mind, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
I'm a Templar
it's like
again.
genuinely a page, and you're like, great, got it. Okay, it's a Jedi.
Thanks, yeah. I was like, can we all agree? But it was like, can we all agree that this is okay? But yeah, and so I couldn't make that audition, and I remember being in an Uber, being like, ride, let's go, and I was like, it's not going to happen. They're like, yeah, sorry, it's our only spot.
Man.
We have one other day the next
That's
day.
crazy though, right? You could be the guy
Yeah.
as long as you show up at 10 a.m.
Your flight doesn't
not
delay.
tomorrow, not 11.
Well,
not
he did have
12.
another day.
Schedule, it worked out.
Yeah.
Spoiler
Oh,
alert,
here
spoiler
he
alert,
is.
worked out.
I was getting upset already.
But yeah, no, I know, but it's. I mean, look, I've been on. What was it like? Was it the Headless Horseman show back in the day? What was
Sleepy
it?
Hollow?
Sleepy Hollow. I was
Yeah.
up for that, and just after Spartacus, I was doing that, and I remember being there, going like, but it's set in like 800. It's like 200 years ago, right? So it'll be kind of British American, right? It'll be British accent. They're like, no, we're just straight American. I was like, but it won't be that, right? And they're like, it's absolutely that. So don't do it. I was like, all right. Turns out it was exactly that. And I was like, all right, cool guys.
Liam, one of my first
Sure, this is you
auditions on
every day.
iZombie was the cab driver in Deadpool. And
Oh my God!
And it said American accent, and I went, it's not going to be though, is
No,
it?
it's not going to be though, is
And I
it?
read the script, and I went, you see that? That's the Indian accent. And they went, they don't want an Indian accent.
Yeah,
I
they
went,
do.
but
I mean, it's even written that
But-
way.
yeah. It literally, he's talking about his brother-in-law. This is an Indian accent. It's a cab driver.
Yeah.
No. And I was like to my Kimberlyn, my manager, I was like, can you double check?
I'm just going to
Can
do
you
it.
double check? She comes back. They asked American Standard. Okay.
That's
So there I am
upsetting.
never done one before, barely been in the US.
Oy.
And I'm like, so Deadpool, where have you been? And da, da, da. And then it's Indian accent.
Comes out.
Yeah.
Turns out. But there's like sometimes they ask you to take these big, because then they're like, well, you got to take those big swings, and I'm like, they specifically said no
They
swings.
basically want you to what?
They're like-
not listen to them.
Yeah, like jokes on you, sucker.
But you know what though? I do that. I do this.
Yeah, I've
here's a
started.
little hack, right? I know to Americans that the British accent, if you do it right, sounds so intelligent to Americans. Can you confirm, Erica?
Oh my God!
Right.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
sounds
You
a
seem
little
smart to
more
me
Yeah.
right now, mate.
Yeah.
right.
Oh, this guy really
So-
knows what he's talking
Yeah.
about.
He's in London.
When
that's
I
not
get
saying.
a script and I don't feel like doing their fucking accent, I send it to them in English, even if they don't ask for it, because they usually listen to it and go, they like their writing.
Ah,
And
that
they're
makes me
like,
feel
"Ooh."
smart. That's good.
And they always
Wow,
change
I'm
it
smart.
to a Brit.
That's amazing.
Because it's like it sounds better all of a sudden.
I have the
their
opposite
words.
problem where they're like, use your natural accent. I'm like, you don't want that.
I do that too. I go, no, you don't
No,
want
you're
that.
like, there's like
And they're
three
like, we do.
characters
I'm
on
like, you
Earth.
don't
that
want
you
that.
trust me. You'll
Can
hear
you
this.
confirm,
and you
does
won't want it.
Wolverine at any point go, no?
No. You know what's upsetting? Okay, just a little sidebar. This is upsetting to me. A friend, Tom Bissell, you know Tom Bissell?
Yeah, Bissell, yeah.
His kid was a delight. She's
amazing.
She is amazing.
Delight, of course you know.
Yeah,
And he sort of trots her out, and he's like, "Do the thing," and I'm like, "Oh, what is this, Tom?" And he's like, "No, there's new slang going around the school." And I was like, well, she's like, I'm not saying it. And he's like, okay, look, okay, say it. And he's like, I'm not going to say it to him. And I was like, well, we're friends. What are you doing, mate? Come on. And then he's like, well, okay. So what happens is apparently around school now, kids are going no as slang, and I was like, that is our word. Like you can't say that.
Appropriation.
Yeah, like, so I was like,
So funny.
and I'm kind of
culture
proud
is
and kind of
not
angry. I'm like, we're finally doing it in Australia, but I'm also like, oh
Rahul can't do it.
Then I can't do it. How'd you do it?
No.
no,
No.
yeah, you have. It's hard. You have to work
He
it out.
always
through the
makes
nose.
it sound like Kermit.
No.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
It's
Professional-
more it's
No.
more out. It's more out than you think. So it's
No.
projected, but still.
I feel like it's in the
popping through.
bottom.
No,
No.
not for me. Oh, goodness
No.
gracious!
Yeah.
You from
yeah.
Sydney?
no, I'm not. I'm from
Well,
Brisbane. actually.
Bluey
Oh,
is
that's different.
popular
I'm from
now
Cairns.
too. Nar.
That's pretty close.
That is
Yeah.
better. That is actually definitely better.
Close enough.
No.
You have to.
Still sounds like
I
Kermit.
don't. I'm trying to support you, but that's
No, it still sounds like Kermit.
no.
That's
Squeeze.
why British
I don't know.
accents. It's probably not important. Yeah, British accent's great.
Back to
Yeah, sorry.
when you showed up to
Yeah,
your
so
audition.
yeah, finally. So it was that crazy old silly story of like last person final day, and normally like I've done a lot of auditions where you walk in, you do your best. I remember like you giving it everything, and they're like, all right, thanks. And I was like, okay, glad I came. And this was not that. This was like I had the same thing. I had the same thing in the show before Gears. So I've, back after Spartacus, I was meeting some interesting, pretty cool directors. And invariably, they'd be like smart. And they'd be like, that 70s film where this and every other actor on earth is like, oh, I love that shot. I was like, yeah, let's film me in again on the whole movie. What? It's been a while since I've watched it, /never. So I always felt like an imposter. And then but with games, I was like, I speak this language. I've spoken this since I was 5. And I was able to go like, oh, so it's the kind of this and kind of that. And so I'm able to speak their language, and it's so nice. And so we could have an educated, like a real conversation about, oh, so this is when that'll happen, and when you push that button, that'll do this. So so what you're going for. And the thing that felt one of the best feelings I had in my life was like, we did the audition a couple of times, a couple of ways, was, did a good job. And I was like, I think I did a good job. Now, like, that's great. Walk away happy. And then they were like, oh, actually, and like Chris, who's not with us anymore, I'm not working on it anymore, but like the voice director was like, can I talk to you for a second? We just want to we'll just get a few things of you just doing, just into the mic for VO purposes. And I was like, they're taking this seriously. Oh,
Question.
Yeah, listen.
How often do you listen to the X-Men TV show theme?
Do
you get a little...
There's a button on set. There's a button on set. There
That's
is.
how you get into it.
There's a button on set.
Just that first one.
As I live and breathe, the Wolverine.
So good.
That's so good. It's so
good.
iconic, dude.
That
It's
I
just such a
mean
wonderful
that
thing.
that music. Well, it was such a perfect storm of cool because then like X-Men '97 comes, and you're just like,
Ooh,
Have you at any point since you've been this character shaved your beard and decided just have a look?
I've
Shave
for
the
sure,
moustache
absolutely,
off
mate.
and
I've
just
done, like not for public consumption. I was just like, not for me. I was like, I love it. I could never. My wife would murder me.
Erica, how did you get the job as Atsu?
Well, I guess long story short, I auditioned.
Correct.
I had the casting director, Ivy Eisenberg. I love you, Ivy. Ivy Eisenberg,
Ivy.
right? So like Ivy casts so many different video games, and I'd worked with her on a couple of them.
Yeah.
And I know
He's
like
allergic.
she sent
Of all people.
I'm happy though. He can sense weakness. They always can. Carry on.
Are you gonna break out? Or
We'll find out,
Will
man.
you be okay?
I'm just happy.
No.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy. I love this. This is what I want my life to be. My daughter would trade me in for a dog today, without even blinking.
Oh my
With
Do we have
no
God.
hesitation.
antihistamines?
He's
No,
so
I can't
cute.
find
Let's see
any.
where it goes. We'll see where it goes. It's
He's-
not gonna
what
be.
if
I'm not
you
gonna die. I'm
die?
not gonna. That's not that.
To be fair,
It's not that. I'll just
I'm
get
not- I don't wanna
puffy.
put
I'll
pressure
get
on
Or
you.
puffy.
something because you really. Oh.
I'm just. They sense
I don't want
weakness.
to put pressure on you, Liam, but you're here obviously today representing Logan,
Yeah.
and you can't be allergic to a dog.
I know.
and be like,
right.
"Oh, my sinuses.
Let me. Okay. I'll finish your story. I'll get back to my very real fear about that.
What about what?
No, I'll sneak in with like when I got Spartacus. I'm an asthmatic nerd that was a fat kid, so I was like, it's all fraud. None of this is true. They're gonna know. And I remember going to San Diego Comic Con, having a bit of an asthma attack on the floor, and going, can't use my Ventolin because I'm going to be the stereotypical, and they're like, and they're going to be like, he's a fraud. And so I just motored through it. Anyway, carry on. So yeah.
By the way, David Beckham used his inhaler, and I know a lot of people with asthma
He's
were
sexy,
like,
though.
he would run over
Yeah,
during
fair.
the game and then come back
I
out.
also have asthma.
Yeah,
Not
well,
represented.
no, it's the best.
Oh,
we've spoken
used to
about
when
it
I was
before.
little.
Yeah,
I guess I grew out of
we
it.
can
Is that
talk
a
about
thing?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can do?
Yeah, you
You
can.
can also
you can
grow
grow out
into
of
it.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
So you auditioned.
So I auditioned, yeah. So Ivy Eisenberg sent me the audition,
Lovely.
and I immediately it's PlayStation. It has the PlayStation logo,
Nice.
and everything was code named, and it was fake sides. But it's like a PlayStation game that's set in feudal Japan. So I was like,
Check it.
well, I know what it is. But I just remember reading the script and the description of this character and how sort of sturdy and like Ronin-esque she is, and just really falling in love with this character.
It's a
And
dangerous
usually it's so hard because when you're a fan of a thing and when you love a character, it's just you really want it, but you're not supposed to want it too much.
Yeah.
So it's hard because you do so many auditions and you get heartbroken every day that so you're just like, I have to send this into the void, and what will be
Forget it
will
exists.
be. But I wanted it so badly, and at the audition I got to callbacks. And I went in to, first of all, the Sony soundstage, which was my dream to be there. You know, like I played The Last of Us and I was like, oh, games can be an actual, acting for games can be a job. Cool, I want to do that. And then so being there and seeing the giant like Ellie and Joel on the walls and the God of War massive oversized statues. And so it's so exciting, and I'm trying not to fan out, but like it's also a little scary. It's really scary because like I want it, but I can't want it too much. But I had an actor, Theo Chen, who is Lord Saito, and was on the first game
Fantastic.
as well.
Yeah, he's really
phenomenal.
good.
Oh my god,
He's
I can't
made
believe
Saito so likable.
He's so charismatic,
Charismatic, yeah.
and like I can't believe, because in the volume when you are acting with somebody and they have these incredible micro expressions, and you're like, oh, I don't know if they'll capture that, but they did, and he's so good in it. But Theo just was my scene reader with me, and like you usually don't get an actor to work with like physically but we did, and that was such a gift. And they asked if I had any questions, and I asked, is this the second Ghost of Tsushima? And they had a very urgent, hurried discussion amongst themselves, and then decided, they were like, yes it is, but you can't tell anyone because it hasn't announced yet or anything. Right. I was like, yeah, because I was wondering how much like sort of Kurosawa, like that heightened feel you want to it, and they were like, yay! And we kind of just geeked out about I did the audition, and that was one of those times where it felt good, and it never feels good. Never feels good.
You almost have to tell yourself it doesn't feel good, because what if you actually wanted it? What if you actually, and I know, but I guess some of those jobs are so big.
Yeah. And it was like, oh my God. Yeah. We geeked out about like Westerns and samurai films, and, because I was a fan of the first one. And then, because you have to do, we did the PCAP audition, and then one where it was just like, reading voiceover dialogue, because those are very two separate trades. I'm sure there were a lot of incredible on-camera actors that don't know how to do the thing of like, okay, you have to throw just like a 10-foot throw.
Yeah, I've had game directors tell me that they've tried to hire like really successful on-screen actors, and they were bad at games. Yeah,
because it's just a completely different. It's closer to like theater.
Why
It's a black
is that?
box theater, because black box theater, where you have to just imagine everything, and you have to like come up with it and have the sense memory of things, even though like you're in a booth by yourself. You have to be talking to somebody. You have to make these strong choices
as well. I feel like it's like that over that frame over there is this gigantic something, whatever it is,
Yeah, and so
I guess if you're dependent on a real life set, that's just like unfathomable.
Yeah,
it's a different skill.
Yeah, it's just a different skill. Yeah, where it's like you would be riding a horse, and so there's other skills you have to know, right? Where it's like, okay, we have to ADR this or something. So it's
I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
When you're doing fake horse riding.
Yeah, you have to like squeeze your diaphragm, kind of like you're riding on a horse. Yeah. It's so interesting because it's just not something you would think about if you don't have that experience.
Yeah.
And so I feel like all the many, many years of me shouting on a battlefield and like, riding a horse and like sounding like I'm making a noise, like what noise do you make when you're drawing a bow, right?
Totally.
And it's just things that I have been lucky enough to have the experience with.
Yeah.
So I could just bring that into the audition and the callback, and it felt good, and I told them that, even if I didn't get cast, like I'm really looking forward to playing this game because, it was the first one was just it was so cool to see. It was something that I could show my mom, who is a huge Kurosawa fan. I almost got named Akira Kurosawa Ishii when they thought I was going to be a boy. And
Devastating.
yeah, right. We were so close, but yeah, like we'd be like, oh yeah, it's
Video
like,
games do that too.
Video games, and so cinematic, and it's like you can do it in black and white.
I'm doing
you know?
Takeshi Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. And also, anytime it rains, I turn Kurosawa
More blood.
mode on.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
blood and mud and like
Yeah.
the camera
It's so
angles are
bloody.
like a little more
That's
like
cool. I
visceral.
love that about the original. So
It's
yeah,
so
I mean,
cool.
They had like the
But,
black and white.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so sick.
Yeah.
It's,
And
so
so
stylish.
I was just happy that I booked it because
That's cool.
I would have still played the game, but I would have just been like a
Kinda
little
sad about it.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you get those special jobs like Wolverine is that, where I sometimes just go, I get to be Wolverine. this
Yeah.
week.
God, yeah.
What are you
That
talking
is crazy.
about? And you
Yeah.
go into work and you're like, the trailer was so amazing for me because it was real. I was like, someone will wake me up and say it's not a thing. You were never him.
Yeah.
And then it came out. I was like, people know it.
Holy
happens.
shit, I'm
It's
Wolverine.
real.
Yeah.
Even if no matter what happens from
Yeah.
here, it
I
exists.
can imagine you would have that for Yote too,
Oh,
right?
It was
sure,
so,
right?
and like when I was in
When
Japan,
was your announcement?
It was September of last year. And it was like you
Yes,
see
that
my
State of
face.
Play last year.
Yeah, State of Play last year.
yeah.
And it
Yeah,
was the
that was the big-
last
that was the big-
thing.
the big
and it was
final.
like you see it's like it was like the reveal,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
hat reveal and
yes.
stuff. And then people who like watch little internet shows were like, Erika from Dropout? Like it was, and yeah, for me, that was when it was real. And I was like, I can't believe it. Like I
Yeah.
still, even in Japan, like when I went and like I was dressed up in the costume.
That's
Whoa.
and
so
I was,
awesome. by
and
the
I,
way.
I just had I had the swords, and I was like, this can't be real.
Yeah,
Like I can't be here.
It's so
like,
fucking cool.
and it's just like it is. It's like every moment that I was this character was the best moment of my
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
Keeps
And-
making me cry, Erica. You know how I said I cried watching that video? I cried when I streamed the game. I was just like, I'm so proud. I
so
cried at
cool.
his reveal, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, look at how
I
my
cried
friend
at your.
I
doing
didn't.
these
Do you know why?
amazing things.
Because we fucking drew with Everton 15 minutes before they scored a late goal, and I knew that I was in that state of play, and she was streaming it. I went up, and even during, people were like, why is he just so over it? And it was because my brain was going, fucking Everton, fast.
Think
I
about the
couldn't
couple of
that
weeks
game
I've had,
was
and we were like, we
infuriating.
shouldn't have been, and then suddenly we're
Oh,
top of the
yeah,
league.
yeah.
I was like, I'm Wolverine. I'm top of the league. It's all going well.
Living the high life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
it is amazing.
I have little things for you guys.
What?
I got to go to again another unheard of thing. I got to go celebrate the launch with the studio, and so they gave me a bunch of little swag, and so now you get a little Yote. It's a little temporary tattoo.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, my kid's gonna
The
put this
little
on.
ginkgo leaf tattoo is a temporary tattoo.
Forget about it. I'm gonna chuck that on Harry.
That's so
Isn't it
cool.
cool?
Erica,
You're
it's
in
fucking
Ghost
crazy.
of Yote. That's
Especially like,
unbelievable.
okay, you're all you're
It doesn't-
While
there's
we're
a
talking about
10-year-old in me that's like,
I
what are
will
you
say,
doing?
there was something that made me smile, and it had to do with you, sort of. I didn't realize until Death Stranding 2 had come out that Housemarque would congratulate other studios, and the studios would congratulate each other.
Yeah.
And then when Yote came out, I just got the sucker punch congratulate, and it's you and me. And I was like, hold on, are we going to keep doing this?
You'll
Is
get
this a
that
fucking
too.
thing?
You'll get that too.
Yeah.
Oh, I
They'll have
don't-
art of these two with you.
That's
Yes.
It's so cool.
That's
in
so
theory, in
weird.
theory, in theory.
In theory, right?
In
Yeah, we don't
theory.
know, but
That's
But
so
in
weird.
like when The Last of
What
Us
a
2,
meta
I
world we live in.
remember
Yeah.
like when The Last of Us 2 came out and like all the
Yeah, I'll
whenever
show
they
Liam.
congratulate other
Yeah,
Sony people.
yeah.
And then like
Also, the
ours
fucking-
is
I know.
so it's just
Because
us.
also you
so
and me
good.
met. Do you know how you remember how you and me met?
Was it in person for the first time at Stray Gods? Or
Nope.
was it at the Game Awards?
Nope. You were a guest on Netflix Geeked that I was
oh
hosting.
yeah.
Were you not?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's when we first did it. That's when we first met, which I also think is just wild.
But
So we
also,
did-
Erica, the fucking Astrobot, like it's so
that's what's
cute.
Housemarque put up
It's so
when
cute.
Yote came out, and it's me
It's
and
just you two
Erica.
just hanging out.
It's so crazy to be like, I came from being a fan. Like I
know.
was doing it, and you did it too. Where you were like, a fan of a thing, and now you're making the thing, and it's so crazy.
I think that's especially why it's so cool. The three of you specifically, like that I know to be gamers, right? Like it's it's just so cool.
Well,
like,
off camera, Erika sort of is in that camp too, because you explained it, but you worked at a game shop. You worked at a game shop. I worked at a game shop, and you worked.
I applied to work at GameStop at the Thousand Oaks Mall, early 2000s. My application was rejected because they had too many other nerds that wanted to work in a game shop. So I worked at the King of Knives, which was the sword and knife shop next door.
It is actually their loss, though. They could have had.
I know.
You
Yeah.
could have said, you could have had
cashing on
it.
that
You could have had it
forever.
all.
Yeah.
Thousand Oaks Mall.
But it is really cool to think about, like,
assistant
having
manager of EB Games.
Yeah, no way. Having worked on like I would have sold games that you guys are in or that I'm in. That's so weird to think about. To be like, I was at that store. I had no idea that I would work in the industry, and
I was so good at
I
selling
loved it.
console
I loved that
upsells.
job, dude. I loved it.
It was so
I had
great.
a
We'll
moment
have a story about that.
with you guys, but I wasn't on the Gears 5 poster.
Right,
I think I was
yes.
one of the only ones who wasn't. And
Couldn't pay you enough.
exactly. But no, I it was still like my first game.
Yeah, man.
And BFI IMAX South Bank is next to the National Theatre. And one of the like shittiest jobs I had as an actor was I was fine. I had no credits that like screamed out to anyone why they should listen to me or why I should be hired.
Cool.
And at some point, I was offered the role of do you know what a supernumerary is? In theatre?
Yes.
It's a very fancy word for extra. So the National Theatre
don't know that.
were holding auditions looking for brown men to play Afghans. That's a scarf. Afghanis. That's currency. Someone from Afghanistan. The Taliban. And it was 3 months every night to be in the background of a scene during the play, and then a few others, and just go, Allahu Akbar, as was our last thing we had to do, right? And it was a story about Russia and Afghanistan and America.
Cool.
I knew that if I just did it and shut the fuck up, I'd have a National Theatre credit that I could blag. You were just at the National? I was just at the National. No one's going to look at what I played. It's live, right? But it was a dark time. I made £17 a show. The train ticket to get there was 12. And my agent at the time was taking 20% off the £17 a show. 20%. And I had no car. And it would take me an hour and a half after work in a tennis shop to get there, grab a quick bite, and then I'd be on stage just to stand there and go, Allahu Akbar! And then that would be me done. And I'd walk past the BFI IMAX every day and be like, man, I wish I was on that thing. Or, man, this is what I'm working towards. And then Gears was on the BFI wraparound for like a month. And I saw pictures and put it up. And I was like, I used to walk past that, and now I'm one of the team. And I'm
wild.
Yeah. And like, so I had that moment then too where I was like, that's £17.
That's gonna be a thing with Sarah. Erika's on fucking everything.
Yeah.
Train buses.
But all of those things do come. They do come
It's
flooding back
crazy.
to you, right? Because it is that's the thing. I never want to be an out of touch actor. The job is piss. It pays really well. It's fucking hard to get into, and it's fucking hard to book job number 2 or 5.
I remember my first pilot season. I'd just done Spartacus. I was like, well, I think it's my world's my oyster. I was in Times Square. Like, it was insane. I was then, and like, it was surreal to the extreme. And we got the first like pilot season. I was like, all right, well, I guess we're off to the races. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm good to go now. I got so many no's in a row. Like, I was doing, like, in Australia, I probably had like 5 auditions a year, and that was a good year. No results.
That's crazy.
But 5 a year. I had 5 in a day one time.
Holy
and
shit.
I was doing like, it was back when pilot season was a thing.
Yeah.
And I did like, 10, 15 auditions a week. And I got no's for
unreal.
every single one of them.
Yeah.
And it was worse than any amount of no's I got in Australia. I was like, I guess that was a mistake. I guess I can't act. I remember just not wanting to ever do an audition
It's
ever
a
again.
lot of rejection.
Yeah.
So it's hard to remind yourself that, I'd already beat the system. I'd been the lead in anything.
Yeah.
More than I'd ever dreamed at any moment of my life that when I went from the moment I went maybe acting to now, I'd never in a million years thought that I'd get anything remotely close to that. So I'd already won. But I was just like, I didn't realize I was terrible.
Yeah.
What a mistake casting. I was like, what a mistake they made casting me in this thing. Accident for them or
Weird
a fluke.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm good at one thing only. That was the only thing I was ever going to be good at. It was hard. Took a couple of years to get through that.
I'm sorry that this almost went for 2 hours by accident. I didn't mean for that at all. But thank you all for being here. Erica, what are you up to? Where can people find you?
I'm at Erika Ishii on most things. Also, I have a podcast called Worlds Beyond Number, which is a improvised storytelling podcast with Brendan Mulligan, Abria Iyengar, and Lou Wilson. Thank you so much.
And Ghost of Yotei.
And sort of like a small thing called Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah, we've heard of it.
So happy
You should be. It's the best.
You
dude.
should.
It's the fucking best.
It's
It's so
It's
cool.
incredible. And you know what? It's the cherry on the icing on the cake, or whatever you want to call it. We would have been there and supported it. And if it wasn't good, it still would have been incredible to see your face everywhere. The fact that
also
it's
good.
like a Game of the Year contender,
It's so good.
it's like
really
the cherry
good.
is the icing on
really
the
good
cake.
game.
So,
so
no pressure for us
happy.
then, I guess.
Liam, what are you up to? Where
Aren't
can
we
people
out-
find you?
Wait, aren't we 2026?
Yeah.
Is that GTA year?
Yeah,
that's
you guys
good.
are fucked. Sorry
I'm glad
about
they
that.
pushed it.
You
I'm happy. I'm
guys.
really happy about it.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. I'm doing a lot of that Wolverine stuff. That's kind of my whole world right now, which is the best thing I've ever said. Yeah. And I guess I'm like sometimes on social media I'm like in a post social media world where I'm like
Hell yeah,
Liam,
love that.
Nice.
I mean sort of I'm like I have to be now because I'm like Wolverine, okay, cool. Liam.j.McIntyre or _J_McIntyre.
I'll leave a link. You'll find it.
Depending
Must be
on
nice.
The platform.
Instagram or I couldn't get the same one on both. That was a mistake.
happens, it
I-
happens.
I messed that up. So that's in other things I can't talk about. Hooray!
Rahul, what are you up to? Where can people find you?
Nothing.
Sick.
Cool.
They know, and it's Instagram. There's not many of
Oh,
us.
I'm
You'll find it.
famous. You already know where you can
Nah,
find me.
but like,
In
know
it.
it.
I've not
You already know
got a
it.
Fucking
podcast.
hell.
I don't have a book.
Cool.
And Life of Chuck?
Life of Chuck.
That's
Is
old.
that-
It's back in cinemas right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
My dream is to become you one day. My dream is that, whatever,
I
Wolverine.
haven't- you know what
shrug.
though, Liv? I haven't changed.
No,
'Cause
it's true, fair.
Gears of War. I was
Yeah,
still,
fair, same guy.
Yeah.
Nothing's
I was
changed, that's
gobby.
fair.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, Saros, March 20th.
Get it?
Carrie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Life
Yep.
of Chuck. We Were Liars. I don't know.
Cool.
I don't like doing the credit thing.
Thank you all for being here. It was really wonderful. It was a lovely chat. I appreciate
Yeah, it
you
was
all for
nice.
your time. Thank you
Fine,
so
if we
much.
got fired from
so
saying anything.
much.
It'll be fun.
Someone did. Must
See what it is. Let's take bets.
Bye.